Hi there, welcome back to my channel. I'm Leanne. Today I want to talk about techniques. No, you do not need to have techniques in order to get what you want, but a lot of people, they find them helpful. And it's also to help keep you in that mindset, because the whole thing about manifesting is to retrain your subconscious, your mind, into focusing on what you want. So by repetition of whether it's affirmations or affirming or visualizing, all of these things are actually going to help keep you in that mindset of where you want to be. So remember, if your thoughts are focusing on something that you don't want, that's exactly where it's going to continue going. And that actually happened to me. There was some things, I don't want to go into detail, but there were some things that I was thinking of that I wish did not happen. You know, I was like kind of in that worried state of, oh, I hope this doesn't happen. And sure enough, it ended up happening because I was thinking about it. So the same thing can go for if you're thinking of the positive thing. And I know it's hard to, you know, I get like that sometimes. I'm thinking of, okay, I want to change my mindset. It's really difficult to. And I can't do it, but that's why techniques help. I notice when I stop using techniques and I just rely on my own, you know, my own mind to stay in that state that I want it to be, I find I kind of start seeing things around me that are unfavorable. Now that's just me. Excuse me. That's just me. You might not feel that way, you know, but if you do start feeling that way, then that's where the techniques can actually come in handy. If you don't like to actually script out the words, but you like to draw, for example, then you can draw your dream life. I've done this. I think I might have mentioned that before. I actually drew, you know, the place where I wanted to move to. I drew like the tree-lined streets. I drew pictures of money and how much I wanted to make monthly, things like that. So you can actually just draw it, you know, if you like doodling or something, you can draw it out too. But just remember, your mind is, or your subconscious is like a friend. So think about what you tell your friend, and they just assume that it's the truth. They believe you, because why would you lie to them? Well, your subconscious is the same way. So whatever you tell it and feed it is what it's going to show you, because it's almost like you're asking your subconscious through your thoughts. So if you're sitting there and you're worrying, oh my God, I'm going to get fired, then your subconscious just sees, you know, what you're focusing on. It doesn't feel your emotions. So, you know, that's where some of us might, you know, get trapped in thinking that we have to always feel the feeling, even though I am a big advocate of being in that feeling. But as I explained in the past, it's not of the actual physical feeling in your body, it's the feeling of knowing, just knowing that, okay, this is going to happen. So whatever you're telling your subconscious is what it's going to show you. So that's why we always talk about, you know, repetition, because you want to continuously tell your subconscious the positive things that you want, until it becomes easier for you. You know, eventually it will become easier, and you'll know how to just kind of not react, you'll be able to snap out of it a lot faster. It can take some time. It could be literally overnight. You know, I've seen some people who learn techniques really, really fast. I've had many success stories of clients who got what they wanted, and it was pretty fast, because they truly believed it. It does all come down to what your assumptions are. But it's hard to just change your assumption. You can't just, like, you know, I hear some people like just assume that you have it and it's yours. And, you know, I say that too, but there's more to it than that. You can't just sit there and say, oh, okay, well then, yeah, I assume I have a bag of $1 million sitting beside me. You know, like, you can't just say the words. You have to truly believe and feel, because I've heard of some people manifesting some crazy things that I'm like, okay, this just makes no sense. How did they get there, you know? But manifesting is not logical. So even though my logical brain might not be able to comprehend it, it's okay. This is on a whole spiritual realm, so we don't have to really understand it. But remember that all the realities are all out there, so that you want to use techniques so that you are jumping into that state that you want to be in. You know, like, look at all your states as like they're all in front of you. And if you're focusing on the negative, like let's say getting fired, well, you're jumping into this state right here that's on this shelf. But okay, I want to be in this state here. Well, then focus on it. See yourself. Stop living in this state, because the more you live in this state, the more you're going to stay there. That's how it works. So you have to change your mindset. You know, you have to change your thinking and believing. And by repetition, that's how you do that. You're going to learn to do that so that eventually you can actually see that state. You might not see it fully. You might just see glimpses. You might jump into this state first down here and then, oh, jump over that one and, you know, take all these shortcuts. But eventually you'll get to where you want to be. So find the technique that works for you and stick with it. Don't change it. If you hear different people saying, oh, but I've tried this and this work, but what's working for you is actually showing some shifts, then just stick with what you're doing. You know, like everything that I talk about is to share my experience, to show you that this is real. Or if you're having a difficult time in manifesting things, then maybe you can try some of the things that I have tried and that worked for me. But if you have a way that works for you and you've actually seen success with it, then don't change it. Just stick with it. Because I've made the mistake of doing that in the past as well. Like, I had specific affirmations that they were very simple, you know, because you have to talk to yourself like you actually talk. So I was using these affirmations. They were very simple. I was seeing some shifts in my reality, and I was getting some of my manifestations, although they weren't like the big wig ones that I wanted. They were smaller ones. But then I saw somebody else's technique and I was like, oh, I'm going to try that. Their affirmation. I'm going to try that. And so I tried their affirmations and it just didn't feel right to me. Like, the way I was speaking just sounded strange, because I was speaking like they were speaking and I wasn't getting anywhere. And in fact, I felt myself going backwards and seeing some of the old stories showing up. So I went back to the old simple affirmations that I have. So stick to whatever has been working for you. Use the affirmations that work for you. You don't have to take somebody else's affirmations. Use your own voice. Talk to yourself like you would talk to a friend. So however you talk to a friend, whether you're like, you know, if you pump them up, you have that kind of cheerleader, go get them kind of attitude about you, if that's natural for you, then speak to yourself like that. Like, I'm a very sensitive person, and so I'll speak gently with a friend who is hurting. I'm not going to, you know, yell at them or anything and make them feel worse. So I will speak to myself gently in the same manner if I'm feeling down about something or worried about something. But sometimes I'm actually that cheerleader, and like when I look in the mirror and I say my affirmations, I feel that kind of, you know, that energy of, yeah, I'm just, it's mine, you know, and I get all excited and stuff. But don't worry about you not getting it, because you will get it. It has to show up if you are consistent in those thoughts. So use your techniques. Be consistent with them. Don't just use them, you know, once a week and think that you're going to see some changes. Do it all the time. It's like I mentioned before, like exercising. You can't just exercise like, you know, once a month and expect miracles. You want to be on that consistency of doing it all the time so that you can actually see progress. It's the same thing. So I hope today's video did not confuse you. I hope it helps somebody out there. I will see you in the next video.